And you know what? Teach them how to talk to the AI. Teach them how to write a prompt. And I don't like the sound of prompt engineer. I think it's silly to describe yourself as an engineer when you're just talking to something. Like, if you're a really good communicator and you're a really good leader and a really good supervisor, are you a prompt engineer just because you can get the best out of your team? Like, no, it doesn't make any sense. You're not an engineer. But I think there is a value in the mindset shift between give me what I want and here is what I need. Can you help me? And maybe I should make like a dedicated video about this on my other channel, but I have a tough time thinking of how I could pull it off because would it sound like an essay? Would it be a mini lesson? Like, who would I talk to? I really don't know who is having a problem, and I don't know how I could deliver the message that they need to hear. It's almost like a one-on-one lesson, and I'm really good at one-on-one lessons, but when you have to apply that lesson to the broader class, I have a hard time formulating videos with that in mind because it's so easy to get what I want from GPT, and I struggle to see why other people would have a problem, and I don't know how to help. I'd really like to figure that out though. So please, if you have anything in mind or if you have a specific problem you couldn't get GPT to solve, please let me know. I'd love to help because I have gotten it to help me with so many things. I got it to help with the layout of one of my designs for one of my prompt packs. I was making the prompt pack, I was putting it together, and I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like the look of it, and I didn't quite know why. You know, I'm not trained to be a designer. I like design. I know what looks good and I know what looks bad, but I don't know how to bridge the gap. And I literally explained that problem to GPT, and it step by step showed me the things I could do differently. Actually, it gave me like a list of 10 things I could do. And you know, I singled out a few of those and I asked for more instructions on how to actually do it. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't know if I should be explaining a specific problem or taking a step back and abstracting what I actually did to talk to the thing. Like, first, I explained what I was trying to do. I was trying to create a prompt pack that showed the images that a certain prompt could create, and I wanted that prompt to also appear on the page. I explained what I was trying to do. I explained what my problem was. I tried to put it into words that I didn't think it looked professional. I didn't like the look of it. I explained what I needed. I explained what I didn't like about what was happening. And I asked GPT, can you bridge that gap? Can you take my aim? Can you take my results? And can you course correct? And maybe that's a good way of looking at it, because that's probably how I approached every problem that GPT has helped me solve, and it is so helpful. Like, to anyone who ever says that these language models are getting more dumb, it's just so incorrect. Maybe referring to the language model and its censorship as intelligence or lacking intelligence, I don't think that's the right way to phrase it. And I know censorship sucks, and I know people liked it when the AI was more free-flowing. My point is, you just need to know how to talk to it. You have to talk to it like it's a human, like it's in front of you and it's a person and it's your assistant. You have to explain what you need. You have to explain the problem you've already had. Okay, that's probably another big point about these AIs. You have to have tried it yourself. You have to know the problem that you'll encounter. Like, you have to have encountered the problem. These things cannot act on their own yet. If you asked it to design a beautiful page for you, for lack of better words, I don't know if it would be able to do a good job. And you know what? It probably would be able to do a pretty good job. But to get the most out of that tool, you need to have tried it yourself so you can explain what you need, explain what you tried, what you didn't like about it, just like you were talking to a person. And then you need to be able to ask for the help. You need to be able to say, can you help me? And another little hot tip, ask it if it understood what you're asking for. Ask it if it understands. I have found that that is some of the most eye-opening revelations is I'm trying to do this, it didn't work. Do you know what I mean? Like its ability to understand what you're asking for and to like relay like, oh yes, you were trying this and it wasn't quite working, so here's what you could do instead. And it's like, I know I just sounded like I was repeating myself, but it does not repeat verbatim what you said. It really contextualizes your problem and demonstrates that it understands. It's really mind-blowing.